Mindset. It's the biggest thing that I've seen hold men back from truly breaking free, from truly stepping out of the ashes of their pornography addiction. When I talk about mindset, I'm talking about our limiting beliefs, our thoughts, and even our identity of how we see ourselves stuck in this behavior and how limited is we see ourselves in the future, both with or without pornography. So in today's episode of The Rebuilt Man, I'm going to walk you through what I believe is the winning mindset that men need to not just conquer this addiction, to not just quit porn in the short term, but to truly step into freedom, step out of the ashes of porn, and step into the life that God is calling each and every single one of them to live. Guys, if you're new to the podcast here, welcome. My name is Coach Frank Rich, founder of Rebuilt Recovery and host of the Rebuilt Man podcast. And it is our mission to help men become better men by quitting porn and rebuilding their lives. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn those post notifications on. And if you're tuning in on the audio side, guys, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review today's episode and share it with as many people as you possibly can. Mindset, belief system, identity. These are the things that keep men stuck. It is our mindset about why we use porn in the first place, is our limiting belief system around how we believe we can never truly walk in freedom. It is our identity of how we see ourselves using this behavior as a crutch, as a vice, or as an outlet. Many times it's the outlet that keeps guys returning back. I'm triggered, so I don't know what to do. I have high sex drive and I need a release. I saw a beautiful woman. I had an erection. I need to let it go. You see, it's all these stories and narratives that we tell ourselves. And in my opinion, our mindset is nothing more than the stories and narratives that we tell about our lives, about ourselves, and about our reality. So we can understand that it is our thoughts, our patterns, our belief systems, and our mindset that is keeping us stuck. Then we can equip and empower ourselves to take massive action to create a new identity, to create new thought patterns and create a new reality, one that is without pornography ever making its way back into our life. Early on in coaching, back in 2020, when I first took on a handful of clients in what now has become Rebuilt Recovery, I remember speaking with all of these men that have been stuck and struggling for decades. And I would ask them this question: do you believe that you can live without pornography? Have you ever thought about what your life could be if you weren't using porn? And I have to tell you, the vast majority of men that I asked that question to have never actually thought about what their life could be, who they could be, and how they would act differently in the same situations. You see, here's what we need to understand is the things that trigger you to porn are still going to be there. Whether it's stress, anxiety, fear, isolation, rejection, loneliness, all of these things that we create stories as the triggers or urges are still going to be present in a life free of porn. So if we can't envision those things happening and not acting out in porn, then how are we ever going to play that out in reality? You see, we have to desire a life free of porn more than we desire the life we're currently living. And that desire comes through real visualization. I want you to think right now, if you're stuck and struggling, when was the last time you acted out with porn? Maybe it was this morning. Maybe it was last week. Maybe it was a month ago. But try to go back to that time and space. What happened? What were the series of events that led up to you going back to the screen? What were the moments leading up to it? What were the emotions and feelings that you were feeling? Try to feel and truly experience where you were when all of this happened. Now, you know what the outcome was. You can play that out in your mind. You can probably replay the exact scenario because it hasn't happened just once. But what I want you to do is I want you to interject in that moment. And instead of watching what happened, I want you to play out a new narrative. I want you to play out a new story of if you were a free man in that same exact situation, how would you act and behave differently? What were your thoughts? What were the feelings? What were the emotions? How did it feel to conquer that situation? How did it feel to walk through the trials and tribulations and not find yourself going back? Feel that. Feel and see true freedom playing out in your life. How did that make you feel? Now, if you could envision it in your mind's eye, do you believe that is something that you can live out in reality? Maybe not right now, and that's okay. But you have to be able to see it first. And that's the thing with so many of you that are stuck and struggling right now is you've never actually stopped and thought about, if I wasn't acting out with porn, what would I do? If I wasn't the man that used porn as a crutch, who would I be? If I wasn't the individual that acted out in this way anytime I was triggered, what would my behaviors and actions be? You see, you thought when I talked about mindset that I was going to develop some tactics, some techniques, some trick that I picked up out of a book or I heard on a seminar or I was taught through a coach and mentor. Your mindset is the byproduct of your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your behaviors, your identity. All of that is integrated into your mindset. And you are in control of that. Now you can look at all the reasons as to why you act out on porn as the reasons as to why you are the victim. Or you could say, you know what, these are obstacles and challenges for me to lean into, for me to grow through, for me to transcend and create a new identity on top of the exact same things. But it's got to start with envisioning and seeing ourselves living this out first. And that's where so many of us never take the time to do it. And I understand because I saw porn at 6. I got free at 35. That's 29 years of my life. I'm only 41 today. So there still is the vast majority of the time that I've spent on this earth walking as a man that consumes porn. But every day I have to remind myself that that's not who I am. That's who I was, but that's not who I am anymore. Every day I have to remind myself of if I'm ever tempted or triggered or challenged in a specific area, this is how a free man lives out. Now, early on, this has to be very, very intentional. Minutes every day, minutes every morning, time spent on dedicated throughout a week. But you get to the point where this gets wired into your subconscious, and then it becomes your unconscious identity. And then you no longer have to think about it. It's just who you are. So the mindset that each and every single one of you are struggling to get right now, or the mindset that you're looking for, is that of the free man. But you have to envision it first. You have to think about it. You have to see yourself in those situations, acting in a different way to be able to embody what it feels like. Now, guys, we have a community of men. We have these conversations. We have a program where we walk you through how to lay this out, how to act this out in your life. It's community, it's accountability, it's real coaching, it's a blueprint of success. If you're interested and you're stuck, you can join us for free for an entire week. There's no obligation to stick around and stay with us, but you could test drive our community. If you go to school.com, skool.com/reboot your life, or click the link down there in the show notes below. But your mindset starts in the visualization process. Envision your life as a free man before you'll ever be able to truly walk it out. Guys, Coach Frank Rich at The Reboot Man, we love you. We'll see you in the next one.